I'm Stephen Gold, the author of The Return of Breaking Law. Local councils and housing associations, hang your heads in shame. The Housing Ombudsman Service, a free service for social housing tenants who can't get their landlord to carry out repairs or pay compensation for breaking the tenancy terms over repairs and other stuff, notched up a record in the last year. The service has just reported that complaints by social housing tenants topped 5,000 in 1 year, an increase of 28% over the previous year. And when it comes to findings over maladministration, not handling tenants' requests reasonably or at all, there was a rise of 323%. Well, we know that there's a combined housing and cost of living crisis affecting landlords, but this is bad. The Ombudsman can award compensation as an alternative to the tenant having to launch a county court claim against the landlord. In the last couple of weeks, the Ombudsman has ordered Peabody to pay its tenant £2,300 and for the chief executive to apologise directly to a tenant for leaving a water supply problem unresolved for 2 years and for poor complaint handling. The elderly tenant had breathing difficulties, a heart condition and mobility issues, and the Hyde Group has been ordered to pay compensation to 2 tenants. One of them collects £3,350 after being left in damp and mould for 18 months following a leak.
Doesn't the law need to be strengthened?
Well, that's the ex-BBC Ambridge sounds effects man speaking. He asks the right question, sometimes. It does need to be strengthened, and it has been and will be strengthened by the Social Housing Regulation Act of 2023, which should deliver a kick up the backsides of social landlords. Bits have just come into force with much more awaited. The Social Housing Regulator is now required to ensure not only that social housing is well managed and of appropriate quality, but also safe and efficient. And the regulator's enforcement powers are beefed up. The regulator will be able to intervene without having to be satisfied first that consumer standards have caused or could cause serious detriment, and they have new powers to authorise entry into a home to take emergency remedial action. Social housing, like most in the private sector, now has to be fit for human habitation, and if it isn't, you may well qualify for legal aid to sue the landlord to get necessary work carried out and for damages if you can show that the condition of your home carries a serious risk to health or safety. That's instead of using the Ombudsman. Plenty on this in my book.
The Return of Breaking Law by Stephen Gold.
And your new activity book, Be Creative with Dinosaurs. Really expect me to believe you sent me a free copy, do you?
Well, Royal Mail, believe me. Standard Post. They've just reimbursed me for the postage and the cover price of the book within 4 days of my complaint regarding non-delivery. Of course, they require evidence. A certificate of posting is good, and I had one. And I sent them proof that I'd ordered the copy of the book for you online.
Ordered your own book?
My stock had run out.
Or been eaten by dinosaurs?